So let's start with the last presentation after the great one from Derrick. Let's talk about how easy it is to interface with Xojo to WooCommerce, being WooCommerce an e-commerce solution. And probably what we are going to see here is applicable also with other commercial or e-commerce solutions. So what is WooCommerce? Well, WooCommerce is an e-commerce solution, so anyone can create his online store in no time using Drupal, Joomla, WordPress, etc. Of course, it's not the only e-commerce solution you can choose. There is a lot more, but it's the one I know, so it's easy to install, easy to manage, and it works pretty well. In fact, WooCommerce is a solid e-commerce engine. It offers integrated user management, so you don't have to take care of that. You can create users if you want using the API or directly through the interface that it provides in WordPress. One of the things I find more useful is that it handles a lot of payment gateways as PayPal or Stripe or credit cards, and most of these plugins are free, so you only have to install that plugin into WooCommerce, and you don't have to deal with that either. Also, it can handle everything related with tax, even taxes by country, what is pretty handy if you sell your products around the world, applying different taxes in different countries, and it gets everything done for you about that. Even it supports multiple languages, offer a really fast installation in WordPress, is secure and is updated regularly, so you are in the safe zone. And it can handle physical products, digital products, virtual products that I don't know really what they are. Maybe services or something like that, or users training, whatever. Also, WooCommerce offers a lot of templates, so you can install the template you want to offer the visual aspect of your e-commerce solution, and they are mostly free. So even you can match the template from the WooCommerce or your store with your theme or the theme you are using in your WordPress website. And as I said before, it's really easy to install and manage. We're using it from Xojo because it's really easy, as we are going to see through the demo, and many other things. It offers an RESTful API, so you can create, read, update, or delete the records for all the operations that it offers. For example, one of the user cases is to keep the physical store inventory in sync with the online store, and it handles it really quick, adding or updating or creating new products in a bulk manner. So if you want to add 100 products to your store, you simply can do that from your Xojo app, press the button, and it's done. Also, being able to use the data you can take from WooCommerce to do other kind of operations, from more complex reports to integrate it with other business apps you may have, as CRM or marketing integration or email sending or whatever you want to do. What we need to interface with WooCommerce: an SSL certificate installed in the server, what is quite a logic if we are going to do some kind of business involving payments. Also, the keys that provides WooCommerce to use the API, and from the Xojo side, simply use your Connect and JSON, what opens the door to use it or create applications not only on desktop, also on other targets. How is the API case setup? Well, this is the interface you find when you access the WooCommerce interface in WordPress. Only have to click in the Advanced tab, click on Recipe, add key, and then the next screen is this one where you have to choose an user from your WordPress installation that has administration privileges, and then set the permissions. If you set them to read, you will only be able to use the WooCommerce API to download the records but not add new records or update existing records. And what is important is this button, because when you press the Generate API keys, you will get both the consumer key and the consumer secret. You copy both of them to use in your own app and store them in a safe place, because you won't be able to retrieve them later, even in WooCommerce. If you lost them, you will be or you'll need to revoke the key and create a new one key. Of course, you can create as many keys you may need for as many apps you want to create. What is interesting here is this webhooks. What the webhooks do in WooCommerce is that it allows to execute code in your server when a step in the process or the status in the payment process changes. So you can automate certain operations, as for example, if it's in process or has finished the payment. For example, one of the typical uses of the webhooks is to send an email with the data and a serial number for the product some of the user as both. So this is really interesting, and even it's more interesting because through the API you can update the webhooks, add new hooks to the server, or delete existing webhooks. Once we have this case, this is the example app we are going to see next. You use these keys in the typical preferences from the app you want to create to the endpoint where your WordPress plus WooCommerce is installed. That's everything you need to set up. About the API documentation, WooCommerce offers a really good API documentation where you can find everything you need, even including snippets of code that are quite similar to the way you are going to use them from the Xojo side. If we look into the documentation, for example, we can see that it is possible to create coupons, discounts, handle customers, orders, refunds, products variations, reports, everything about taxes, what I said about webhooks, everything else. For example, if we look into customers, how to retrieve a customer, create a new customer, or list all customers. On every one of these methods, we have the endpoint we need to use and snippets of code that show you what you are going to get as a JSON. You have examples for CURL, Node, PHP, Python, and Ruby. Being this one's URL the most similar to the use of this endpoint with the parameters when we are going to use URL connection, the endpoint, the attributes, and as you can see here, we have to provide the consumer key and the consumer secret. So it's really really good documentation. So demo time, and we are going to see how all this works through this app. This app is available for everyone in this repository, so you can go ahead and download it. It only implements the API endpoints to get customers and get orders. It's not implemented all the API, but brings a good idea about how you can create this kind of applications. So is this one. When I started to do this one for my own purposes, it was API 1. I converted it to API 2 just for this, and it took me around 3-4 hours simply using analyze project, search, replace, and even it worked. The one with API 1 on the latest version of Xojo, but we run the app, and this is in real time. It connects to the endpoint, start downloading the customers, the orders, asynchronously. And once it ends, it will show the main interface. Of course, this is the first time it's done in this computer, but you can create your app so when it downloads for first time, all the products, all the customers is stored locally or wherever you want to do, and then it goes faster. So this is the main interface. So we have here, we can choose to select all the paid customers, those that are not paying customers just because they download free products or wherever. We can order them by any criteria we want to use, and we have here the order, retrieving all the data for this customer and all the products he bought. When we click on this, then we can see all the data related with that order for that product. So we can get the data when he was created via checkout. He used PayPal as the payment processor, the remote IP address, the transaction ID, when it was completed, when the order was paid, and then we get some more information, parsing everything. This is parsing the returned JSON data from the remote WooCommerce API. The product identification, the name of the item this customer bought, the subtotal, this is the amount of money before applying taxes, the taxes that have been applied, and the total. But we can get even more detail in this case for PayPal, clicking on additional data, if it is exempt of VAT, taxes, and everything. This is handled by WooCommerce, by the way, and the transaction fee that was taken by PayPal in this case. How this works? Well, if we look into the code, you can see here there are two classes based on this class that is based in URL connection, and for example, in the case of the orders retrieval, we are calling using the get verb to the endpoint that we set in the documentation from WooCommerce. And as you can see, the format, the syntax is really similar to the one for CURL. We pass the endpoint, the consumer key, the secret key, and that's all. Then we have a couple more classes that are the one in charge of parsing the JSON received in order to present it to the list box in this case and handle all the data when you click through the user interface. But that's all you need in order to create an app, to connect to WooCommerce and do everything you want to do. In this case, we are only dealing with these two concepts. So there's, I should be here somewhere. Oh yes, even the software can retrieve the picture based on Yoast, store locally, and if the picture is not changed remotely, it doesn't download it again. So, let's go 5 stars to it's a nice guy, so why not? In this case, Javier has an order on hold. So as you can see, we can get the status of every order in every period of time, and it's quite handy. Even we can handle refunds from our own software. Because we are in charge of everything and having all this information locally, if we lost the connection with internet, we still can do a lot of things here. We can still add new products, and the next time the computer is connected to internet, click the button, the data is sent to the endpoint, and your products are updated in your online store. And if you have a physical store and you do sales locally in a physical store, and you keep an online store with the same products, you can keep in sync the stocks of your physical store with the stock in the virtual one. So that's everything. Questions? It was fast or not?
So integrating this with Xojo Cloud, is there a WooCommerce option to actually have an app there?
Through no, as far as I know, no, because they didn't develop for that. They made the plugin available for publishing solutions like WordPress, Joomla, Drupal, or something like that. Yeah. So one option you can consider in that case is, for example, you can install a WordPress in the server, in a server, and use the webhooks to talk with the Xojo Cloud service or app or whatever. Yeah. It should. Yeah.
Does WooCommerce make you iterate large downloads and uploads and chunks, or does it have 50,000 records they all have at once?
That is a parameter you can set by default is 100, but you can set it to any number.
WooCommerce lets you control that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much does it cost?
0. Oh, of course, your Xojo license.
Set up a WooCommerce site, it's still 0.
0.
Yeah, set up a WooCommerce site on WordPress. You're not paying any licensing.
You only have to you only have to pay for the server. No, even that. Oh, if you use PayPal or Stripe or yeah, but for example, there are plugins for WooCommerce that can handle credit card transactions, and they don't get a cut. Yeah. So for answer this question, you have to pay for the server, you have to pay for the SSL certificate, and you have to pay, of course, the Xojo license. That's all. WordPress is free, WooCommerce is free, and the themes you may want to use to display your store, most of them are free, or you can design your own. The plugins you may use to interface to the payment systems, most of the most common ones are free. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. It's no way to do the other way because it's PHP code. Yeah. Oh, you can take a look at it, and if you want to convert it from PHP to Xojo, it should work. Yep.
When are you going to start selling that out?
Sorry.
I'm sure you can make a lot of money selling that.
I'm not selling that. It's for you.